You too, immortal.
No. I just don't fear death.
I know that was the most fire intro you've ever seen. Welcome back, bastards. You're not going to find another video like this anywhere on the internet, so lock your eyes on the screen. Don't you dare try to just skip ahead and skim the list, you motherfuckers. Watch the video exactly how it was intended to be seen. Today, we're breaking down 20 games that feature the absolute most cold-blooded, ruthless, and iconic main characters in gaming history. My voice might sound a bit unnatural, but this lineup is 100% real. So believe me when I say these protagonists make standard modern heroes look like complete jackasses. These legends don't ask questions, they don't take crap, and the gameplay is engineered purely to make you feel like an unstoppable force of nature. Sit down, shut up, and let's look at 20 games where you control a goddamn beast. First up is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, starring Raiden, a cyborg ninja who is such a stone-cold killer he makes other action heroes look like soft-as-hell bitches. The plot starts with Raiden getting jumped, sliced to pieces, and left for dead. But he gets rebuilt into a shiny new cybernetic killing machine and goes on a bloodbath to hunt down the corrupt dickheads harvesting kids' brains for weapons. Why is Raiden an absolute titan? The guy literally catches a giant, skyscraper-sized robot with his bare hands, throws it into the sky, and slices it to ribbons while heavy metal blares. Players love this game because of Blade Mode, which lets you slow down time, chop those bastards into hundreds of precision pieces, and rip out their glowing spine batteries to heal mid-fight.
And with him lies our salvation. There is only one dominant life form in this universe, and it carries a steel-barreled sword of vengeance.
Next is Doom Eternal, featuring the Doom Slayer, an unstoppable force of nature so terrifying that the literal armies of hell tell ghost stories about him. When demons invade Earth, the Slayer doesn't negotiate or ask for help. He loads a shotgun, steps through a portal, and decides to slaughter every single demon in sight. He's the ultimate juggernaut because he doesn't hide behind cover like a bitch or care about human politics, he just punches right through demon faces. The game forces you into a high-speed slaughterhouse where you run headfirst into the mess, chainsawing those ugly motherfuckers for ammo, lighting them on fire for armor, and tearing them apart with your bare hands.
Bound to uphold the code. To live, fight, and die with honor. If you stray from this path, what will you become?
Third on the list is Ghost of Tsushima, starring Jin Sakai, a samurai who transforms into a terrifying shadow-dwelling executioner. When a brutal Mongol army invades his home island and slaughters his friends, Jin realizes that staying honorable will just get everyone killed, so he throws the samurai code in the trash to become the Ghost. What makes Jin such a cold-blooded menace is his terrifying evolution. He goes from dueling enemies face to face to striking pure terror into their hearts, making entire camps of invading pricks trip over themselves and run away in panic just by drawing his blade. The combat is clean as hell. You switch stances on the fly, slap arrows out of the air, and execute guards with ruthless precision.
Come here. If I don't return, you must run. By yourself, alone. You must change your name. Forget your past and start a new life. As someone else. A new beginning.
There is no mountain too tall to overcome. We will be.
Devil May Cry the Fifth Part, featuring Dante and Nero, two half-demon powerhouses who treat an apocalypse like their personal playground. The plot follows them fighting through a city overrun by a giant demon tree, but nobody is stressing out because Dante is busy mocking god-tier demon lords right to their faces. What makes these protagonists so swaggering and lethal is that they don't just kill monsters. They disrespect those cunts in style. Dante will literally wear a cowboy hat to dance-kick demons to death or slice them up using a heavy motorcycle split into dual swords. The game rewards you purely for acting like a dominant force, using a style system that hypes you up as you juggle enemies in the air with handguns and broadswords without ever touching the ground. Fifth is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, where you play as Wolf, a silent, iron-willed shinobi who will literally crawl out of hell to protect his master. After losing his left arm and his lord to a desperate warlord, Wolf gets fitted with a mechanical prosthetic arm loaded with grappling hooks and hidden blades, carving a blood-soaked path through feudal Japan. Wolf is a cold-blooded phantom because he doesn't flinch, complain, or run away like a jackass when fighting giant mythical beasts or mortal swordsmen. People love this game because you stand your ground, clash steel with steel in a hyper-intense rhythm of parries, and wait for the exact second to shove your blade straight through a boss's neck.
City's overrun. We don't stand a chance. What are you doing?
Evening the odds.
Sixth on the list is Batman, Arkham Knight, where you play as Bruce Wayne at the absolute peak of his career, a terrifying armored force of nature who turns the dark into his personal weapon. The plot kicks off a year after the Joker died, but Gotham gets thrown into complete chaos when Scarecrow threatens to drop a massive fear toxin bomb over the entire city. On top of that, a mysterious new warlord called the Arkham Knight shows up with a literal private army that knows all of Batman's tactics. Batman is such a cold-blooded titan here because he doesn't flinch for a second. Even while hallucinating the Joker inside his own head, he fights through tanks, mercenaries, and his worst nightmares in a single night. What makes people worship this game is the raw power fantasy. You get to drive the Batmobile like an actual tank glide over Gotham and beat up entire rooms of thugs with brutal, bone-crunching combos without letting those dickheads even touch you.
It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
Seventh is Cyberpunk 2077, specifically when you run a Sandevistan build with V turning your merc into an absolute speed demon that Night City talks about in hushed tones. The plot follows V, a mercenary who takes a high-stakes heist job that goes horribly wrong, leaving them with a biochip stuck in their head that contains the digital ghost of dead rock star Johnny Silverhand, and it's slowly overwriting V's brain. To survive, you have to slaughter your way to the top of the mercenary food chain. When you trigger the Sandevistan Cyberpunk everywhere, V becomes a terrifying phantom who literally moves faster than human perception. Time slows down around you to a complete crawl, and you can casually walk past enemy gunfire, decapitating 5 corporate guards with a katana before those pricks even realize their guns fired.
My name is Alex Mercer. I'm the reason for all of this. They call me a killer, a monster, a terrorist. I'm all of these things.
Eighth on the list is Prototype, starring Alex Mercer, a shape-shifting monster who treats an entire city like his personal buffet. Alex wakes up on a morgue table in New York City with 0 memories, only to realize the city is being torn apart by a horrific viral outbreak and a ruthless military force called Blackwatch. Soon, he discovers he's not even human anymore. He's the sentient embodiment of the virus itself. Mercer is an absolute, unstoppable menace because he can shapeshift his arms into giant razor blades, whip fists, or heavy hammer hands, and he literally consumes people to absorb their memories and physical forms. People love this sandbox because it turns the entire city into your playground. You sprint up the side of skyscrapers, hijack military helicopters mid-air, and hurl cars at strike teams without giving a single damn about those military bastards. Ninth is Black Myth, Wukong, where you control the destined 1A monkey warrior who is a total, fluid powerhouse following in the footsteps of the legendary Sun Wukong. The plot revolves around traveling across a mythological ancient China to recover 6 lost relics of the Monkey King, facing off against corrupted gods, giant spirit beasts, and treacherous demons along the way. The Destined One is an absolute beast because his combat style is pure disrespect. He uses a staff that extends to massive lengths, transforms into defeated bosses mid-fight, and freezes giant monsters in their tracks with a single spell. Players love it because the boss fights are epic, atmospheric showstoppers where you don't dodge like a jackass. You flow through staff stances, clowning on godlike creatures with pure agility and martial dominance.
You the one. We would like to know the truth.
Why are you so worried? I mean, our ultimate goal is to save Earth and the future of humanity.
Humanity's greatest and only hope for survival can be found in Mother Sphere.
10th on the list is Stellar Blade, featuring Eve, a member of an airborne squad sent down to a ruined, post-apocalyptic Earth to reclaim the planet from terrifying alien creatures called Nightibus. The story follows Eve as she lands on the surface, her team wiped out, leaving her to team up with survivors in the last human city while uncovering the dark truth behind humanity's fall. Eve is a lethal executioner who pairs high-speed acrobatic movement with a high-frequency blade that cuts through armor and flesh like butter. Players are obsessed with this game because the combat loop feels amazing. It heavily rewards precise parries and dodges that charge up devastating energy attacks, letting you slice giant, grotesque monsters into chopped meat before those cunts even know what hit them.
But at least I know the truth now.
The road ahead is long and unforgiving. No place for a boy. You must be a warrior.
Where do you think you're going?
11th on the list is God of War, featuring Kratos, a literal Greek god of war who slaughtered his entire pantheon and moved to the frozen north to live a quiet life. The story kicks off after his second wife dies, leaving Kratos to take his young son Atreus on a dangerous trek to the highest mountain peak to spread her ashes. But when Norse gods show up looking for a fight, Kratos is forced to unleash the monster inside him once again. What makes Kratos an absolute titan is his terrifying, raw presence. He drags a magical, ice-infused axe that flies back to his hand like a boomerang, beating dragon-sized monsters to death while teaching his son how to survive. Players love it because it blends deeply emotional father-son storytelling with heavy, bone-crunching combat loops where you chop those divine pricks in half.
Like pilots going down. Raise your hands and pick the one that sets you free. I see magic in what's found, but I forget the things I see. What's the
Picking up next, we have Hitman 3, starring Agent 47, a genetically engineered clone who is the absolute undisputed master of clean assassinations. The plot serves as the climax of the World of Assassination trilogy, following 47 and his handler as they team up to dismantle Providence, a shadowy Illuminati-style cabal running global politics from the background. Agent 47 is the ultimate phantom operative because he doesn't panic, throw tantrums, or leave a single shred of evidence behind. He will steal a waiter's uniform, casually poison a billionaire's wineglass inside the world's tallest skyscraper, and walk right out the front door before those corporate dickheads even realize a target dropped dead. The game gives you giant sandbox levels filled with creative opportunities to execute targets using anything from high-powered sniper rifles to exploding golf balls. Moving on to the 13th spot, Sifu delivers a hyper-focused martial arts story about a young student seeking revenge after a group of rogue fighters murders their master and slaughters their dojo. Armed with a magical talisman, every time you get killed in combat, you instantly resurrect on the spot, but at the cost of aging several years every single death. What makes the protagonist such an iron-willed menace is their absolute refusal to quit. They spend 8 straight years mastering Kung Fu to track down every single murderer on their hit list. You literally watch your character age from a hungry 20-year-old into a white-haired master who deals heavier damage with every decade lost. The gameplay feels like stepping right into a classic martial arts movie, relying on lightning-fast parries, dodges, and brutal takedowns to break those bastards' bones.
Wait, Jackie Ma, I'm in.
Find a way to make him trust you. We want the Red Poles, the lieutenants, all of them.
Do whatever it takes.
Our brotherhood pays our enemies with pain, suffering, and death. None suffers more than a traitor. We're cops.
You're a cop. I'm an undercover cop. The rules are different.
14th is Sleeping Dogs, Definitive Edition, centered on Wei Shen, an undercover Hong Kong cop who infiltrates the brutal Sun On Yee Triad gang. The plot gets messy as Wei gets dragged deep into brutal gang wars, forcing him to balance his duty as an officer with his growing loyalty to his childhood criminal friends. Wei Shen is a total brawler because he doesn't rely heavily on standard gunfights. He beats the absolute living hell out of entire street gangs using raw martial arts and environmental kills. We're talking about shoving gangsters headfirst into glass display cases, throwing them into industrial fans, and running martial arts circles around armed thugs. It captures the chaotic energy of a classic action thriller, giving you an open-world experience where you smash those gang bitches into the concrete.
6 months into the invasion, Nilfgaard's legions had pierced the heart of the northern realms. Behind them, blood-soaked fields, war-swept wastes. A lone wolf roamed these broken lands, a beast slayer, a whirlwind of rage and steel. They say he was a man obsessed, chasing memories, faces, scents. Yet amidst the chaos, he could only follow his heart.
15th on the lineup is The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, featuring Geralt of Rivia, a mutated monster hunter for hire who roams a dark fantasy continent. The main story kicks off with Geralt receiving a contract to track down his adopted daughter Ciri, who is being actively hunted across parallel dimensions by a terrifying band of spectral warriors known as the Wild Hunt. Geralt is a seasoned, cynical mercenary who carries 2 swords, steel for humans and silver for monsters, using mutant elixirs and magical signs to even the odds against terrifying beasts. What makes players worship this game is Geralt's sharp, dry wit and the morally great choices you are forced to make in a war-torn world where you constantly deal with corrupt lords, terrifying spirits, and absolute cunts who try to screw you over on contracts.
But guess what? They fucked with the wrong country.
Come and fucking get me, you fascist Nazi pig.
And if tonight we see you on the streets with a knife, or just your clenched fist fighting the powers that be, then you are one of us.
16th on the list is Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, starring B.J. Blazkowicz, an absolute meat grinder of a man who lives purely to rip Nazis to pieces. The plot takes place in an alternate 1960s where the Nazis won World War II and occupied America, forcing B.J., who wakes up from a coma with his body completely broken, to rally a underground resistance and ignite a second American Revolution. BJ is a cold-blooded titan because the man literally gets decapitated in public, gets his head attached to a cybernetic superbody, and goes right back to slaughtering fascist scumbag armies with dual-wielded shotguns. Players love this game because it takes 0 prisoners, giving you heavy high-tech weaponry, hatchets, and mech suits to paint the walls red with those racist pricks.
The Banished are planning to fire this ring.
We need help, not heroics.
We protect humanity, whatever the cost.
But this wasn't the mission.
The missions changed. They always do.
You have 1 bullet against an entire army.
It's enough.
17th is Halo Infinite, featuring the Master Chief, a 7-foot-tall cyborg super soldier who turns entire alien empires into dust. The story kicks off with humanity's forces wiped out on a shattered ring world called Zeta Halo, leaving Chief stranded, outgunned, and facing off against a brutal mercenary faction called the Banished. Master Chief is an absolute juggernaut because he doesn't flinch, panic, or wait for backup. He grabs a grapple shot, hijacks alien tanks mid-air, and single-handedly rebuilds the UNSC military force by rescuing trapped Marines and wiping out enemy war camps. What makes people worship this campaign is the pure sandbox freedom. You hook onto a flying alien vehicle, throw a fusion coil right into a warlord's face, and drop those alien bastards before they can even process what hit them. Eighteenth on the list is Yakuza Dero, starring Kazuma Kiryu, a stone-cold street brawler with an unbreakable heart of gold. Set in the neon-soaked streets of 1980s Tokyo, the plot kicks off when Kiryu, a young Yakuza enforcer, gets framed for a murder on a valuable piece of real estate, forcing him to fight his way through corrupt syndicate bosses and political conspiracies to clear his name. Kiryu is an absolute powerhouse who switches between 3 distinct fighting styles on the fly, picking up heavy bicycles, street signs, and motorcycles to break enemy jaws in brutal heat actions. Players love this game because Kiryu balances terrifying, bone-crunching martial arts with hilarious side stories, making him the ultimate blend of a ruthless street legend and an absolute boss. 19th is Bloodborne, where you play as the Hunter, a silent, blood-drenched nightmare who wanders into the gothic city of Yharnam during a night of the hunt. The plot plunges you into a dark Lovecraftian nightmare where a sacred blood-healing ministry has mutated the entire city population into grotesque beasts and cosmic horrors. The Hunter is a ruthless high-speed executioner who doesn't hide behind a heavy shield like a coward. You use trick weapons that transform mid-combo like a cane that turns into a razor whip and a firearm to parry giant monsters right before plunging your bare hand into their chest for a visceral attack. Players worship this game because it forces you to play hyper-aggressively, rewarding you for slicing back into those hideous monstrosities to steal your health right back.
The shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. The Elden Ring was broken. But by whom? And why? What could the demigods ever hope to win by warring?
20th and final on the list is Elden Ring, where you control the Tarnished, a forgotten warrior who rises from death to reclaim the Shattered Lands Between and claim the title of Elden Lord. The story drops you into a massive, ruined world torn apart by demigods who went mad fighting over shards of the Elden Ring, forcing you to hunt down and dethrone those corrupt divine beings. The Tarnished is an unstoppable force because no matter how many times giant gods, star-scourged generals, or rotting swordmasters crush you into the dirt, you keep getting back up, learning their moves, and carving through their health bars. Players love it because it gives you ultimate freedom. Whether you summon spectral spirit ashes, wield a giant star-shattering colossal sword, or cast forbidden blood magic, you turn yourself into the ultimate apex predator of a broken realm. And that is the definitive lineup of 20 games with the absolute most ruthless, cold-blooded protagonists in gaming history. If you made it through this entire list like a proper viewer, instead of skipping ahead like a lazy bastard, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and smash the notification bell so you don't miss out when we drop the next video. Let me know down in the comments which one of these legends is your absolute favorite or who you think got snubbed. Get out of here, go play some games, and I'll see you bastards in the next one.